Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm your host, Tonia Pyle, and joining me today from the Ridgecrest Area Visitor Bureau is Debbie Corlette.
Hello.
And thank you so much for joining me. What exactly is your title at the Bureau?
I am an RACVB representative, and RACVB stands for Ridgecrest Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, which is a mouthful, so we just say RACVB or Visitors Center. But I'm just the representative there, but I do a lot of different things.
Well, I know I always look for you to help me out when I run in there. You've helped me get some information on places to go, things to do, and that kind of thing. And I'm so glad you were able to come in and talk to me about the National Travel and Tourism Week. So how did that go? Do a little roundup on that.
Oh, that went really well, and it was a nationwide National Travel and Tourism Week, May 1 through 7, and our area participated when I'd heard about it, and it's actually been going on for 33 years.
Right. I guess it was like a congressional resolution from 1983.
Something like that, yeah. But when I heard about it, I thought this was a great opportunity to participate on the Travel Rally Day, which was on May 3rd, a Tuesday. And so what I was doing was I invited all of our hoteliers to bring bring themselves or their frontline persons that work with the guests, check-in, etc., to come to a refamiliarization tour of our museums and our area attractions. So I had 10 hotels who participated. No, wait, 7 hotels participated, and I had 10 people on my tour, and they were all really pleased. So
that must have been a full day.
It was a good 4 hours, and I gave them lunch too, so they were all happy.
Wow. Wow. But you started early then.
We did. We started at 9 o'clock, and we met at the Visitor Center because as a front desk person, you want to make sure that you know where to tell your guests to get good information if you don't know already. So I thought they need to know where we're at and what the Visitor Center does and what we are all about. So everybody met there. They all got a little goodie bag of information about our area. And then we went on to the Matarango Museum, which a lot of people hadn't, a few of the young people had not been there since they were in grade school. I had a couple of the new hoteliers from in town who had never been to the museum, and they were really, really pleased. So the Matarango Museum, Debbie and her crew put up a very nice tour about the museum.
Oh, this must be a Debbie at the
Debbie
hotel.
Benson at, no, Debbie Benson
at the museum, at the Matarango.
So she set up a nice tour with their docents, and we had a walk around the grounds. Because if you've got guests who've come in the evening, there might not be a lot of things to do, or they may miss the hours of the museum. At least you can tell them, well, go and have a walk around. You'll see some petroglyph-like objects and the grounds, which is really neat. They've got a a little tourist preserve out there, tortoise preserve out there, and yeah, that'd be funny if it was a tourist preserve.
Ooh.
And then they have the solar system, and there's a clock a sundial clock. So they have a lot of really neat things that you can wander around. Plus, there's a really nice garden. And then after that, we had a caravan out to the Wild Horse and Burro facility that is managed by the BLM. And Grant and his people, they gave us a really nice talk about what they do about rounding up the horses and the importance of that, and how they have adoptions for the horses, and we're one of the only places that actually does these adoptions.
Right.
So, and they're always looking to, they want to refer hotels and eateries, so that's a good fit for the Visitors Center and the Horse and Burro area.
I'll bet visitors would have a hard time knowing about the being able to go out and see the horses.
Right, and
it's not like they can go out and ride them or go on a trail.
No.
I wish they would maybe that could be developed. But
well, I think
they're wild.
they are.
These are
They
wild
are.
horses that have
And they are
been.
so beautiful. They've been, you know, those horses have been on the ranges from the times of the mining times. And of course they've bred, so they have to round them up periodically because of lack of food or endangerment to the goings on the base and stuff. But for families, if you've got little kids, but young and old alike, it is just really neat. Grab yourself some carrots from the grocery store, and you could actually go around the outside perimeter and feed the horses, and they love that. And that helps them get accustomed to humans, and that they're not all bad and stuff. So it helps them on their adoption process too. So, but that's something you can do if things are, if you get in late at night, or you can tell your guests, hey, let's go and feed the horses. And it's very therapeutic. It's very calming. It's kind of almost like a meditation thing. So.
Well, I've been out there, and my little bag of carrots was gone in about a whiff.
Yes.
And so I found myself going back to the grocery store and lugging a giant bag.
Yeah.
And it was therapeutic would be the word I would use. I so enjoyed that day feeding the horses, and they'll you know, some of them will snort and you know, kick each other a little bit, but it's a pretty much horseplay, I think. But you can, with a big bag, sort of find your way to some of the other horses. But I love going out to the
it's really
out
just
there.
nice, and it's just a nice, fun thing to do if you've got little kids. But like I said, it's good for young and old alike, and it's something that can be done after hours if they're closed. And but they do give tours to groups and stuff too.
Well, we're getting ready to take a break, so we'll come back and talk a little bit more about some other things to see and do around our local area, which I find amazing.
Yes.
So thank you again, and
You're welcome.
We'll be right back after this brief break.
Okay.
Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk with our guest, Debbie Corlette from the Ridgecrest Area Convention and Visitor Bureau. That is a mouthful. I'm sure half the time I leave some of those out. But anyway, so we were talking pretty much mostly about the National Travel and Tourism Week. And so this is a time where, like you said, you had your projects to promote tourism, and your focus was to make sure that people at that point of contact with tourists have the correct information and all of the information, which is pretty tough in our area because we have so much to see and do.
Yes, we do. We really do.
So our city motto is Gateway to Death Valley. And it, you know, for me, I was really, I have to tell you, I told you this before, that I was shocked to find out that Death Valley is the #4 tourist destination in California. And when I told you that, you shot back at me that
it is the #1 destination for France, for all the French people. They love coming out here.
And Europe, I guess.
And Europe as well. That's the place they want to see, is Death Valley. So,
well, I think maybe Europeans are maybe more adapted to hiking and doing that kind of travel maybe than, well, I guess not, since we're #4.
I think they really just like to be able to say to their friends and family, they've been to the hottest place, they've been to the lowest place, then they could see the highest point. So they like the extremes, and Death Valley has a lot of extremes, so I think that's
Have
it.
you been out there yourself very much?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've camped, I've hiked, I've hunted for petroglyphs, lots of things.
Have you found any petroglyphs outside of our what are they referred? It's a National Historic Landmark.
Which
on
is
the base?
Yeah, it's on the base. It's in the Coso Range.
Do we have them outside of that?
Oh yes,
Oh,
we have
in Death Valley?
many petroglyphs
okay.
in
Wow.
Death Valley around this area too. I will not tell you where they are, but it's always exciting to find them because you
Do
think
they
you're
have
the first
maps
one.
to them available? No.
No.
Oh, so people aren't, it's really not something that...
No, and the petroglyphs that I go and seek are not what your average tourist would go and look for.
Oh, okay.
Because these are like way off the beaten path. You do have to hike, you know, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to find them. But I kind of know where I'm going, just given different desert explorers notes and stuff. So
I think what really got me excited about Death Valley and wanting to go there is when I went to Walmart and saw the postcards.
Yes.
And I asked the girl at Walmart, I said, have you been, it was called Palette, Artist Palette.
Beautiful.
I said, is this a real place? And she said, yes. I said, does it really look like this? And she said, yes.
Yes.
So I sent it to my nephews and trying to lure them to come out and visit me. But you've been there?
Oh yes, and I think the palette of colors is because of all the minerals that have that seep out of the ground, and it's just fascinating.
It's just fascinating because you have the rainbow of colors.
Yeah, exactly.
The red, the green, blue,
bluish,
yellow,
purple,
all the different colors, and they're sort of set together like an artist's palette.
Yep.
I find it amazing. I find it amazing to, every time I go through, drive to LA, and of course, especially going through Red Rock State Park, I always go, look at the mountains. I want to get out.
This is in our backyard.
It's our backyard.
We are so lucky to be so close.
Yeah.
To go and take a hike, to go and just, you know, hey, let's pack a picnic lunch. Go take a hike, have your lunch, be able to revel in that beautiful area that we have all around us. It's lovely.
It's amazing. The only thing that I think might top it is the night sky. I mean, when you, the moon at times has just
it's so big,
me.
it's so beautiful, it's so clear.
We
are
so
really
clear.
Lucky that we have those beautiful clear skies. And the Matarango Museum has observatories, as does the Cerro Coso, which those two places will open those observatories up at certain times for public viewing, which people don't always know about. But we also have the China Lake Astronomical Society, and they do tours, and they encourage people to come out and view the night sky that we have here. And it's
I wish
just
they
wonderful.
had people. They should have people that would give desert tours, and you could, you know, take. But I didn't know they had an observatory at the Cerro Coso.
They do.
I know of Owens Lake, which is kind of a drive, but
I think it's just, you know, I haven't gone up there in a long time. I usually go to the ones in the museum, but they do open it up at certain times for maybe fundraising or something. So, but it is.
so it's
really
not
nice.
just open to the public. Or
I don't
at night.
believe it is.
So. I always think it would be fun to just go out camping, and
Yeah.
one of my girlfriend's husbands used to come out just by himself and come out with his telescope and do stargazing and that kind of thing. So it's kind of we have this amazing sky, and then
we do.
of course all the places to hike and visit. And the fun thing in Ridgecrest is to be going to the Stater Brothers and see a group of hikers and backpackers.
Yes.
They're all over the place.
Oh, yes. And when we see bus tours, I'm usually right over there at that bus tour saying, hi, I'm from the Visitors Center. Where are you coming from? Oh, France, Germany, what have you. So I try to make contacts with those tour groups so I can, you know, research them and try to get them to stay overnight. So, but we're usually on their tour stop for snacks, snacks and gas.
How about the pinnacles? I haven't been to
the
these
Trona
places.
Pinnacles. Yes, those are just fascinating, and they've been in so many car commercials and movies, because we're also the filming commission.
Right.
So we do a lot of permitting for films and car commercials and still photography, rock videos, it's too numerous to count.
Right, so it's probably you have a lot of fun looking, being that you're familiar with these places. When you see commercials on TV, you go, well, that's our backyard.
Exactly.
That's
and
so
just,
funny.
you know, looking in magazines, HGTV, Cosmopolitan, those are just the two recent ones that I noticed the pinnacles in there for a Toyota still photography shoot. So they're very famous.
Well, we're getting ready for another break.
Okay.
So when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about how all this tourism, what it has to do with our economy.
Sure.
So we'll be right back and talk more about that. Welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk with our guest, Debbie Corlette. And so we've been talking about places to go, things to do, and we haven't talked about the amazing effect or boost, it's even beyond a boost, travel and tourism has to do with our national, state, and our local economy. So it's not just a matter of our well-being.
Right.
It is actually a major function in our economy. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm just going to cite some actual facts from Visit
Okay.
California, which is the tourism arm for the
thank
state.
you for bringing that.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically, tourism has generated a projected $122.5 billion in spending in California in 2015. It has also directly supported 1,064,000 jobs in California with $41.3 billion in job earnings, generating $9.9 billion in state and local tax revenue.
Wow, I wonder how that compares to just the job and the economy, you know, as a percentage, as a piece of the pie, you know.
Oh, like in in our Kern County, that has actually translated to $388 million of earnings, of job earnings. Yeah, that's for 2015. And that has employed 15,170 personnel in Kern County. So with bringing in local $31 million in tax revenue for our county alone. And that's just tourism. So it is a big, big impact for our area.
It's huge.
And given the uniqueness of our area with our petroglyphs, Trona pinnacles, the days of sunshine that we have, our clear skies, people want to do our wildflowers. But people want to come and see something different.
Yeah, and not only that, but I also think about the fact that at the museum that they have that saber-toothed tiger and the mammoth. I mean, how many people? This is our area that people have found this.
Yes,
it's quite a wealth.
It is, and for those people who cannot get a tour to go see the petroglyphs, we have Petroglyph Park, and those are very, very good replicas of the actual petroglyphs. So if you have somebody who can't make that hike, or someone who's a non-citizen, then this is a perfect alternative, and it's in a beautiful setting.
You know, that's important to say. You have to be a citizen to be able to get on that base and take that tour.
Well, that's why they're so well protected, because we have our Navy as good stewards of the petroglyphs, so that's really good.
And there's a lot of racing that goes on. They come out here to the desert to do that off-road.
Well, we do a lot of off-road racing out here because of the wild open spaces.
Right.
But we also have foot races, ultra marathons that happen.
It's a little hot for that, though, isn't it? It seems like the off-road seems a little more fun.
Right. Well, the foot race, which is a 30 and a 50K every December for runners, and they bring people from all over the world. Little known fact, we really do.
Where's that?
Well, they hold it up in the Rademachers in the hills up behind the college every December.
Really?
It's like they've been doing it for over 30 years.
Who's they?
Over the Hill Track Club is the sponsor,
Over
organizer.
The Hill
Track Club.
Over the Hill. Oh.
Because you're going over the hill.
Oh, got it.
Not because
I
you're
was
old.
taking it personally.
No, no, no.
Okay.
No. So, you know, there's that. We have I believe it's a High Desert Classic, and that's a bicycle type race, and
Lot
that's
of
in the
bikes.
fall also. So,
Aside from bikers, you think of motorcycle bikes,
Right.
but then bikers in terms of bicyclists.
well, we just held the largest biker blessing last weekend,
Right,
over
right.
300 motorcycle and participants, and that's becoming very well known too.
Right,
and it's a
right.
really good group of bicycle enthusiasts or
Biker. Motor-
enthusiasts, exactly.
Motorcycle
Yeah.
biker enthusiasts.
And they're some of the nicest people you could ever meet. So.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's a huge chunk. Any more statistics
Oh,
you have to
gosh.
share?
Well, it says, you know, tourism economy it's critical to all corners of the state, especially
Yes.
rural counties, because they rely on travel and tourism because they often lack the major institutions and industries that create jobs and economic growth and tax revenue in the urban and suburban areas. So we're perfect fit for that.
Right.
We've got good hotels, we have some really good restaurants, we have some cute little gift shops and shopping opportunities.
Which is kind of the closest anybody comes to camping out as a hotel. I have some
Exactly.
friends like that. I like to camp out, but some people
Right.
think that I'm talking about
You
a
know,
hotel.
Right, and you know the reason
We
people
have that.
do come out here,
Uh-huh.
they like the desert. They want to
Yeah.
see the desert in a different light. They're done with Palm Springs and the glitz and the glamour and stuff. So they want a little laid back and relaxing time, and not
Right.
a little bit less stress. And that's what a lot of people have said to us when they come into our visitor center. Oh yeah, we just love it. It's so low key here. There's no traffic. The air is good. You got some decent restaurants, and we can camp or we can take a hotel. So
Well,
not too far away.
What haven't I asked you would like to share with people about, since you've been at the Visitor
Oh,
Bureau?
gosh.
I know you said you're shocked at the people who don't know about you there.
Right,
You have a
right.
wonderful location right on China Lake Boulevard. We got
Right.
about a minute left. What would you like to share?
Go travel. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. Even if you just explore your own backyard, meaning Kern County. There's a lot of little towns in Kern County that have uniqueness to them, and you could just go and make it a little day trip, maybe spend the night and, explore.
But what I
your
like to
county.
say is that right there at the Visitor Bureau, what's your address on China Lake Boulevard?
Oh, our address is 643 North China Lake Boulevard. We're
Yeah,
right
they
across
can-
the street from Caldwell Banker.
Right,
could find us
and
easily.
Marshalls and Stater
Exactly.
Brothers and Big Lots and
Yeah.
Tobacco is on the across the other side of the street. That's Sanders. So they
Powell
can
or
come.
Felspar.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. I didn't. What's the name of this?
Felspar. That's the Felspar Street.
Okay, so they can come in and get all the flyers, things to do, places to go.
Right. We like to refer our eastern corridor and all of our little towns along 395 North. We do have things for a lot of our desert communities. We have some on Palm Springs and 29
And
Palms.
we have Randsburg. They can venture out
Randsburg.
there.
So we love all of these. We love all of our desert friends. So we try to
Yeah.
promote them too.
Well, thank you so much
You're
for coming in
welcome.
and sharing it all with us. It's
a pleasure.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
You bet.